Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is cars. Do you own one? Do you have one? Do you have a car payment? Well, listen up. You know, the WEF has demanded that world governments begin to phase out car ownership with a view to completely banning cars for everyone, doesn't matter who you are, in the future, except for people with exceptional social credit scores. Well, it leaves me out, doesn't it? And when you read between the lines regarding what they mean by that, they are clearly referring to themselves, the elites, as the only people who will be allowed to operate cars in the future. Well, excuse me, I just bought a car. Well, because, I just got the insurance payout from those drunks that decided to drive up onto my property 3:30 in the morning on New Year's Eve and plow into my house and into my car. And then my son's FedEx truck too, of course. So, yeah. A whopping $7,500 is what I spent on a car. Yeah, I'm driving a 2008 now. Yay, me. Anyway, you might have thought that the globalist elite were having the week from hell when 9 million people and counting across France, or France, as Miss Universe was calling it. I'll shut up, but listen. When they were protesting and demanding the removal of the WEF puppet Emmanuel Macron, because of all the good stuff that he's doing over there in France. In France, they're sick. They're sick and tired, and they're tired and they're sick of the former Rothschild banker and the WEF young global leader doing the bidding of Klaus and the former unpopular and unconstitutional changes through the parliament. But the globalist elite are completely shameless, all right? And they are now operating with total conviction that they are now in a position to rule as authoritarian world government. And according to the WEF, far too many people in the Western world own their own vehicles. How dare we? How dare we have independence? How dare we just get in our cars and go? We go to work, we go shopping. Devil. And this situation must be corrected by pricing us out of the market. Oh my God. So is that why used cars cost more than new cars? Well, the hypocrisy of the globalist elite knows no bounds. They really are completely shameless. Now, in Davos earlier this year, there's a Japanese journalist, Masako Gananaha. Don't quote me on that. Spoke to a chauffeur who drives the World Economic Forum VIPs around. What a great job. Despite the WEF's policies, the chauffeur told her that the elites will not let him use plug-in car to transport the VIPs around. What do you mean you can't plug and play? What do you mean? They don't use electric vehicles like they're trying to force upon us? You mean they want to use gas and go? They're contradicting themselves. They're demanding good old-fashioned gas guzzlers? But why? Is it because they're better and safer than electric cars? You don't say. Shut the front door, you lint licker. It's one rule for thee and another for me. Jeez, Mary Lou, who the hell do you think you are? While the elite are allowed to own whatever car they want, the rest of us are being priced out of the market altogether. And make no mistake, this is orchestrated. It's intentional. And we got the receipts. I got the tea. You want the tea? All right. Now, in a paper that was published by the WEF, because they write everything down. Yeah. The Globalist Elite claim that the communal sharing of cars must become a part of a circular approach in order to reduce global demands for precious metals, fossil fuels, before cars are eventually banned altogether. 6. You might ask, what kind of world the elites have planned for all of us if there was not going to be any cars? Well, I'll tell you. I have the answer, including all the details. And it's disturbing as all hell. But that's why you guys come to this channel, to find out the truth. You can't handle the truth. I'm kidding. Now, the pronouncements of Klaus and his minions are becoming more out of touch with reality day by day. Kind of like Joey Boy, but I'll go on. Now, the situation would almost be funny if the WEF hadn't penetrated the cabinets of the governments all over the world with double agents doing their bidding. Now, these so-called young global leaders received instructions from Davos that far too many people own private cars, and they have to be priced out of the market with massive gas price hikes. You feeling that pinch yet? All right. Now, so look what happened. Sky-high prices in the U.S. and developed world. But Klaus, he ain't finished yet. Oh, no. As though ordinary people were not suffering enough. No. Paying at the gas pump. Klaus, he's claiming the current prices, they're not severely underpriced. Oh, no. We're not paying enough at the pump. No. So, via the WEF, because they got so much to say. First, leading democracies should agree to end the underpricing of fossil fuels, which is the principal factor preventing a clean energy transition. The underpricing associated with producing and burning coal, oil, and gas amounted to $5.9 trillion in economic costs in 2020. Nearly a quarter of these losses, $1.45 trillion, occurred in 48 major and smaller democracies. The leading democracies of the G20 should collectively commit to phasing out costs and tax breaks for the production and consumption of fossil fuels. They should also phase in more efficient pricing of fossil fuels through taxes or tradable permits to cover the cost of local air pollution, global warming, and other economic damages. So, what kind of world are the elites planning for us in the not-so-distant future? Well, I'll tell you. Here's a quick hint. Ready? Okay. Did you know that Klaus keeps a bust of Vladimir Lenin, the architect of Soviet Russian communism, on his personal bookshelf? Yeah. Most of us have, something like JFK, Trump, Santa Claus, whatever. Somebody that we admire in our house. Pictures of Jesus. Okay, we got crucifixes. We got, people that we admire, people who served in the military, first responders. He's got Lenin. The flip-flop are you doing, man? Look, not kidding. So obviously, this Jack, he wants to emulate his hero and do away with personal property, human rights, private ownership. And the end of private ownership is essential, according to the WEF. It must be applied to everything from cars to private homes and enabled by 15-minute cities that are designed principles. And I talked about this in the April newsletter. If you didn't sign up for the newsletter, it's free. Email me and I'll send it to you. All right. So the WEF has been laying the groundwork for these 15-minute cities for years now. A lot of people just aren't paying attention. I am. All right. But a design process that focuses on fulfilling the underlying need instead of designing for product purchasing is fundamental for this transaction. That's what the WEF sets out for. And this is the mindset needed to redesign cities to reduce private vehicles and other usages. That's what they say Okay, so part of the WEF's circular approach appears to be forcing us to live in these so-called 15-minute cities, which should be called open-air prisons, if you ask me. And this is which we will not only have no transportation, but also no means of escape. You know, and all this talk of phasing out oil, gas production in favor of clean energy is interesting, considering Billy Boy was caught admitting to his inner circle that the whole thing is a scam. Really? So according to Billy Boy, who was speaking to a private audience, wind, solar, battery technology, and other renewable energy sources might be fashionable. They might be valuable sources of revenue for the filthy rich elite, but they're not capable of solving climate change. Then why are you pushing it, man? Come on, man. Push something that works, dude. But apparently the fact that renewable energy is not actually capable of solving climate change, despite being sold to us as the cure-all, right, for so-called man-made global warming, is hysterically funny for Billy Boy. And he actually has a history of being suspicious, one step ahead of major world disasters and capitalizing on them when they arrive, right? Now, it was revealed that he actually has this new oral arm ticket, right, that has caused an outbreak. Polio, Africa. All right. Was there an apology from Billy Boy? No. No. Did the mainstream media talk about it? No. They really think they have it all worked out. They won't even notice. Hold him to account. Nothing. But we're keeping score here. All right? People like us, we're keeping score. And the elite are going to be held accountable for everything that they do. I'm determined to continue reporting on all this. I don't care. That's why I have a newsletter. I put everything in that. So, I think it's important that we talk about this stuff. I put a lot of stuff in the newsletter that I can't talk about here. You know what I mean? And hopefully you guys, my first channel was taken down because I don't shut up. Hopefully this one stays alive for a little bit longer. All right guys, I'll see you later. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless.